Well, this week promises to be a big week for the Glasgow Clan. Finally back in action for the first time since Boxing Day. Quite a lot's been going on. COVID, of course, has played a big part in that. So I'm delighted to say, joining me to go through some of the points that have sprung up over the last few days, maybe clarify a few things as well, is the Clan Managing Director, Gareth Chalmers. Gareth, good to pin you down and chat to you. It's been a wee while since we've been able to do this. First of all, the festive and New Year period. Tell us how all that panned out.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's like everybody. It's like we were obviously the news came through on the 21st of December that these new Scottish government restrictions were coming into play. Obviously the lateness with it being so close to Christmas caused us quite a few headaches. I'll just quickly talk about the timeline so people are a little bit more aware of how things panned out. I think like everyone. It was quite publicised in the news and in the media that Omicron was spreading quite quickly. We'd started having conversations with Sports Scotland around about the 15th to 17th of December, just to get a feel of what we thought was going to happen in terms of was the country going to a lockdown, how was it going to affect attendances at the games. At that time, Sports Scotland weren't aware of anything that was going to happen. They hadn't been given any advice of the Scottish government, so it was a situation they couldn't really give us any advice on. So obviously, when it came to the 21st of December and the First Minister made that announcement, it came as a bit of a surprise to Sports Scotland. I know that for sure. They hadn't really been given the heads up about the situation, so obviously that trickled down through to us. I was actually on a league board call when it came through because. Obviously all the three Scottish clubs were on. We had our fingers crossed that there was going to be no restrictions on the attendances. That came through. Obviously, it was the 21st of December, a couple of days before Christmas. Our staff were preparing to go on holiday, so it left us scrambling around a little bit. Very frustrating, very last minute, and not a great situation to leave the club in or the sporting. Obviously, we're no different to anybody else, but it was a very frustrating situation. And the Christmas period and obviously heading into the New Year was difficult, which we're still living with now.
And it's still ongoing. We're only just getting back into action again, as I touched on it at the top there. So we're recording it Sunday morning. What is the current situation with the Scottish Government, as you can tell us right now?
It's pretty fluid. It's ongoing. One thing I will say is that speaking for Sports Scotland, they've been very good with us. We've built up a very good relationship with them over the last 2 years. We speak to them, the three Scottish clubs, ourselves, Dundee and Fife, speak to them regularly, and they've been very good. But as things stand right now, we still don't have any definitive update on what's happening in terms of compensation funding. We are talking to them. They've asked us for information. So it's there's nothing agreed yet, which is extremely frustrating for us and caused us quite a few issues. But we're hopeful soon that there'll be something on the table and that we're going to move forward with them.
And of course, the First Minister announced last week there would be money set aside for sport as well. Is it fair to assume that the discussions for that and how it will affect the three Scottish teams are well underway?
Yeah, totally. Fully aware that there's 5 million there for sport. Obviously, the difficult part of this is 5 million is not a great deal of money in the bigger scheme of things when you take into context that it's football, rugby, horse racing, basketball, and ice hockey. I'm sure we'll go into a couple of figures a little bit further down the line, but it's not a lot of money when you consider how many professional sports clubs are in Scotland. That isn't a great deal of money to be spread around. But we've given Sports Scotland and the Scottish Government an idea of the money that we would require. We've got all of our fingers crossed that they can come up with a package that's suitable to that.
So the situation regarding restrictions, what has that left the club and the Scottish Government, as you touched upon, put the restrictions on sporting attendance? We've seen Dundee and Fife have to adhere to that. So what does that do for Glasgow Clan?
It's not great for the three Scottish clubs at all. It's as I said before, the 21st of December. It's very last minute. just to explain to people, like the festive fixtures, so that our two home fixtures, which is historically the 26th, 27th, and the Hogmanay game, are our biggest financial games of the year, but by far. Those two games alone, you're talking a six-figure sum, the revenue that generates. So losing those games is cost the club so far a six-figure sum. But we've also got the situation now where obviously we now own the building, own the arena, so we've also got that added pressure of an arena building that is incurring costs all the time. So this whole period of no games is currently cost us hundreds of thousands of pounds, which we've got no way of clawing back at the moment because we're not able to generate any revenue. So it's left us in an extremely difficult situation where we actually, we need some clarity on what is going to be available to us or what help can be available to us before we can move any further forward. Because without that, I'm sure everybody can appreciate it's a hell of a lot of money for a sports club our size. So, it's been a very difficult period.
And of course, returning to action this week, there's going to be restrictions put on that as well. The attendance is going to be greatly limited to what we're used to seeing in Braehead Arena. Of course, we're offering the webcast as well, which I'm personally very excited about. Can't wait to get involved with that. But let's talk about the 200 first of all. That's going to be the first time 200 people will be allowed to buy tickets for the games coming up this week, starting against Manchester on Tuesday, then Cardiff on Wednesday, and then Nottingham on Friday. So tell us about that decision. Tell us, give us the insight into that one.
Yeah, it's. I suppose everybody's got an opinion on the way this should be handled. We analysed the bigger picture. We've got 1,200 season ticket holders, so we're never going to be able to keep 1,200 season ticket holders happy. So we did discuss a ballot. We looked at the feasibility of a ballot, which could have happened, but then we came to the conclusion that. Whatever we would do this, somebody was gonna come up with this not happy. So the situation with the club financially is we need revenue in some capacity. So we decided that we were going to sell 200 tickets at £20 each per person. That would take out the situation of gold, silver, and bronze section tickets. So that there's no actual section tickets available. Also, it's £20 no matter whether you're an adult, teen, concession, or child. And the reason that we've done that is obviously I'm sure people can appreciate that. Yes, we could have gone down the route of having season ticket holders, having 200 season ticket holders in, but the problem that then creates is you have a situation where 200 season ticket holders have had access to a game, and then 1,000 season ticket holders haven't. And it's all the administration side of that. So what we decided to do is keep things pretty even across the board. I'm sure we'll go on with it a little bit further down the line, what we plan to do with season ticket holders. But it's all, the most important thing now is about keeping the club solvent, keep it going forward. So it was all about generating a little bit more money for the club from selling these tickets and just getting us through this very difficult period. Because currently, as I touched on before, we don't have any confirmed support from the Scottish government. So the focus is really on us to generate money to keep paying bills, players' wages, staff wages, suppliers, etc. So we're just doing everything we can at the moment to try and keep the focus on moving things forward and getting through this difficult period.
And of course, those tickets will be sold on a first come, first served basis. It's really just who's fastest, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's again, it's back to that situation of how do you manage this? It will become tickets will be available via the Clan website on a first come first basis. I would recommend to just keep checking clanihc.com and the Clan socials. We will also be emailing all the season ticket holders just to give them an update on the situation direct. And anybody who's on our e-news list will also get an email just explaining the situation. So I would just recommend everybody just to keep an eye on the website for the tickets going live. I believe it should be later today. We're just waiting for clarification on that. Obviously, we've had a scramble last minute to get these tickets sorted and get them in place. So yeah, just keep an eye out for them.
And of course, the situation being fluid means that it's been changing all the time, which is why you haven't been able to come on and explain things a little bit sooner, just because of the situation and the way things have been. It's been a very tough time for you.
No, again, like just to put everybody's minds at rest, we do see, obviously, we see emails, we see comments on socials. I totally appreciate the frustration at the moment. One thing I will say is we will try and get information out as quickly as we can. The reason that we haven't been able to get information out quickly is because we've been waiting on information ourselves at league level. Obviously, just we're still waiting for that information from Sports Scotland, which is affecting day-to-day our financial planning for the club. So just, all I'm asking for is a little bit of patience from everybody. I know people want answers. People want an update on tickets that they've purchased. Obviously, our season ticket holders, they're wanting an update. Rest assured, you will get an update. It just, please be patient with us. It will happen.
Now let's talk about the webcast. We've been talking about this for ages. In fact, I think you and I have been talking about it since you first joined the club 8 years ago. But finally, it's going to happen. We've been working behind the scenes to get everything ready for that. Season ticket holders, there's going to be a lot of them that's going to miss out coming to the games this week. What's going to happen with them regarding this webcast this week?
Yeah, so we have been talking about it a long time, haven't we? We're delighted to get it up and running. It's something that in one of my blogs during the summer, I'd said that we were going to set up a webcast. It's taken a little bit longer than we expected, and that's been down to the fact that when we took over the building in November, would hope to get the keys to the building in August or September. The negotiations just took a lot longer than we expected. It's such a big project that we needed to make sure that the contract and agreement, at least from our side, was watertight. Just for the long-term aim of the business. So we got the keys to the building in November. Those people that'll know, commercial internet doesn't take 2 minutes to install in the building. The whole building when we took it over was stripped right back. There was literally nothing left in it. So we've had to obviously get one of our partners in Indigo to have a look at the situation. They are in the process of putting a new commercial network into the building for us. So there hasn't been a straightforward situation. So it's all been very reliant. The whole webcasting situation is obviously reliant on a good internet connection, because if you don't have a good internet connection, you cannot stream the games. So we've come to some sort of resolution for the immediate time, and we're launching the webcast on Tuesday against Manchester, which will be £15 per person, which is in line with the rest of the league. We've worked very closely with David Lowry at Infinity 21, who's been really good. Starting on Tuesday, and obviously we've analysed the situation. We appreciate all the support that the season ticket holders have given us. It's important for the club from a financial perspective that we'll have plenty of season ticket holders for the future, and we've decided the next 3 games initially will be free to the season ticket holders. So what happens in that situation is on Monday, all the season ticket holders will get an email from ourselves, just explaining how they get access to the webcast for free on Tuesday against Manchester, Wednesday against Cardiff, and Friday against Nottingham, and then thereafter we'll assess the situation when we'll have a further update from the First Minister on what the restrictions are.
Definitely. We can only hope we're back to some sort of normality after that. So that takes me back to the 3 games we've missed because of these restrictions that have been put on, the COVID protocols and all that. So what's going to happen, and how are you going to handle those 3 season ticket games and played in front of the 200 fans coming up?
Yeah, it's a complex situation. We've discussed it at quite a bit of length over the last couple of days. The issue, again, going back to the Scottish Government, is until we get some sort of an update from the Scottish Government on what compensation is going to be available, we cannot plan what to do with with season tickets. And I can imagine people are sitting watching this thinking, well, I don't understand why you kind of just give a refund or explain what's happening. The issue that we've got as season ticket holders, it equates, that income equates to nearly £500,000 for the club. It's a vast amount of money, and for us to even consider what we're going to do with those three games is complex, because the season ticket covers 25 games. You're talking about three games, potentially more games, where those people are not getting access to those games. So we've discussed it. We're just going to wait until we hear back from the Scottish Government in terms of what compensation they can give us. Once we have that information, then we will be able to give an update to our season ticket holders on how we are going to credit those games back to them. It'll be on the Clan website, it'll be on Clan socials, and all the season ticket holders will get an email direct explaining what the situation is. Again, I can appreciate people want answers. People are getting frustrated. Again, all I ask for, if people don't mind, is just a bit of patience. The situation's very complex for the club. We will get a resolution. Ultimately, our focus is we want the club to work. We want the club to be successful, which I know the season ticket holders want as well. So just please work with us and please be a little bit patient in this situation. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Sure will. And of course, that takes us to the 3 games this week. I think I mixed my questions up there when I look back. But the 3 games this week: Manchester, Cardiff and Nottingham. Only 200 fans allowed in the building. How's it all going to work? How are you going to stagger that? How are you going to work all that?
So the situation with the building doesn't really work. What we've decided, this has been part of the issue over the last couple of days, because we've had so much to try and analyse. So, people, the 200 fans that will purchase a ticket for the game will get access to the arena via the normal entrance. You'll come in like, you would normally be for a game. People will enter the building via the box office, go into the arena. There's no real change. It's kind of the game's been set up as like a smaller event of what it would normally be. So people will go in. You'll have allocated seating. There'll be the relevant distance between people sitting in groups. So if you purchase 2 tickets, I believe we're going for a maximum of 2 or 4 people sitting together. And then those people will have enough social distancing from people in the building. Again, all we ask is, people wear face masks while walking around the building, while sitting in the seats. There's hand sanitisation units all around the building. We're encouraging people to use those as much as possible. Obviously, to get access to the game, you're going to need a COVID passport or a negative lateral flow test or PCR test in the last 36 hours. Or a positive PCR test in the last 180 days. So nothing's really changed from the game on late December against Cardiff. It's the same situation. It's just obviously smaller numbers, and we're just asking people to be very sensible. We want to play home games. We want the Purple Army back in the building. The sooner that we can get through this all together, the sooner we can do that.
And of course, this has impacted on the team as well. That the protocols that come in meant they had to set out. How has it affected Malcolm and the team? I know you speak to Malcolm very regularly. They'll just be keen to get back on the ice and get playing, I'm sure. Yeah,
it's again, like, over the festive period, people probably aware that we ended up in COVID protocol, which was another headache for us. We went to Belfast on the 26th. Obviously, we'd already made the decision that the game on the 27th and 31st were going to be postponed because of the financial implications from the restrictions. We just weren't in a position to play those games behind 200 fans. The way everything's budgeted, we needed those games. But on top of that, obviously, we found out that we had, I believe, we ended up having 13 COVID cases in the end, positive COVID cases, which was difficult. So, since then, the guys haven't really trained. They're going through a process today, tomorrow, of testing to make sure everybody's fit and healthy to return. So it's been a difficult period. You know, we've been juggling the financial situation of the club while obviously, you know, dealing with the situation of all the complications of COVID protocol. You know, I'll give Mike Hicks a lot of credit at the league. You know, the league are very supportive in these situations. They've worked hard to explain the situation to us and work with us around it. We've got 3 fantastic doctors at the club in Marina, John, and Margaret, who've been getting bombarded off me and Malcolm about different outcomes and protocols. So we're getting there. Obviously, you know, we're excited to get back on the ice this week and get back to doing what we all want to do, which is see hockey games and hopefully win some games.
Definitely. And just to finish up, how can people support the club during these difficult times? We're asking a lot of them as it is with the fact that they can't enter the arena, perhaps extra cost involved. But how can people support the club right now?
As I said before, I can totally appreciate people are frustrated and the lack of information. I do understand it, and it's as I said before, just please be patient with us. We're going to try and get the information to people as quickly as we can. It's a fast changing fluid situation. So, 1 hour, we're doing one thing, 1 hour we're doing the next thing. We're just trying to adapt the best we can for the club. The most important focus for us right now is the hockey club. That's why we're all here, So patience, understanding, the 200 ticket situation wasn't an easy decision, but it's in the best interest of the club financially. It doesn't cause us any issues further down the line with season tickets, so we can keep it very fair for season ticket holders. As a gesture of goodwill, to show our thanks for all the fantastic support we've given season ticket holders, that those 3 webcasts for free. Again, obviously, because we've only got 200 fans in the building, we cannot sell 50-50 tickets. We cannot sell shirt off the back tickets. Obviously, we don't have any secondary spend from food and beverage. Obviously, people are not buying merchandise on game night. So, I would encourage people to buy. We're going to be doing raffles via Raffle online, 50-50 shirt off the back, merchandise obviously on the online shop. Anything you can do to support the club financially through this period is greatly appreciated. The main focus is getting through this. We've got a very exciting and bright future ahead of us with what's going on with the building and our plans for that. So, just stick with us. We'll get through it together. Hopefully we get three home wins this week and get back to winning ways and move on from there. I'd just like to say, I appreciate all the support that we've had. It's been quite an interesting year, hasn't it? From looking back over the last 12 months with the arena situation and the late start with the team, but the main thing is we've got the team on the ice. We have got a very bright future, and let's just move forward from here.
Excellent. Yep, let's get through the choppy waters. Hopefully, calm seas ahead. Gareth, thank you so much for joining us and clarifying a few of those points that are being made just now. Well, that webcast, first one is on Tuesday. Face-off, 7 o'clock. It's Glasgow Clan against Manchester Storm. £15. You'll find that at clanihc.tv. Hopefully, you'll join us for that. In the meantime, Gareth, thank you again for your time, and we'll see you again soon.